Hello, hi, my name is Mo and I thought today I would do another unscripted video on Calvin Garrett. So yes, that is 2 videos on Calvin Garrett in a row. It feels a little bit sad and desperate, but I do have a reason, okay? So about 3 days ago I made a video titled Has Calvin Garrett Changed? And in it I just talked about whether or not he'd changed. Calvin Garrett had recently gone on to a stream with Riley and Xanderhall and he seemed really open, and I thought, hey, maybe he's changed. Maybe we are about to see a new Calvin Garrett arc. One day later he made a video with Blair White ripping the shit out of Milo Stewart. So yeah, I was clowned on big time. I looked really stupid. I couldn't leave my last video up and then not address his recent actions. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be reacting to the video he posted with Blair in real time, in front of you all. So yeah, this is a reaction video, low tier content, I'm so sorry. Hopefully I'll have a scripted video out at some point soon. It's just, the world's happening. It's hard to find the time. Now it is important to note that Calvin Garrett has actually deleted that video with Blair White now. That's good, that's nice, well done Calvin. Does that change anything for me? Does that change my opinion on the situation? Maybe a tiny bit, but like, tiny is the key word here, because he still edited that video, filmed that video, and uploaded that video without seeing anything wrong. He only realised it was wrong when he started to get a bit of backlash. I still have the footage. He's tried to erase it off the internet, but what's that saying? The internet never forgets? Sorry, mate. So yeah, he deleted the video, but didn't put out a statement as to why he deleted it. He just sort of continued as if nothing had happened. And I'm sorry, but you can't simply make a video that cruel and then continue as if nothing happened. Okay, so I'm being pretty harsh here. I know. I'm sorry. But also, when we watch this video together, you will see why. So first of all, who is Milo Stewart? Let's have a little bit of context. Milo Stewart is a non-binary trans person. In 2015/16, they sort of blew up on the internet. They were basically the victim of a horrendous amount of online harassment. Like so much, it's impossible to comprehend. I can't even begin to imagine what Milo has been through, right? Pretty much every single commentary channel made a video on Milo. Now all this harassment, mind you, happened when Milo was a teenager. Does that not seem a little bit, I don't know, wrong to you? Throughout this whole time, Milo has stayed on the internet. That must have taken so much strength and resilience. I'm honestly inspired. Also, side note, they messaged me on Twitter and they are the loveliest person ever. Why are people being so horrible? But anyway, that's a little bit of context as to who Milo Stewart is. So without further ado, let's react to this shit show.
What's up you guys, Calvin here, and welcome back to my channel where today I'm here with...
Blair White!
I forgot my name! And today we're going to be doing something that we get asked to do all the time, which is react to trans cringe on TikTok. Now,
okay, first of all, in my humble opinion, may I just say that making trans cringe reaction videos says more about the person who's reacting than the person who's in them. What type of person gets joy from mocking the way another person presents? Well, I don't know, but not any kind of person I'd like to associate with.
This person has returned to the internet. They were gone for a few years, and the other day I rediscovered.
Who? I'm scared.
I don't think you're ready. I hope you recognize the person. This person.
Oh my god!
Miley Stewart is back.
Video title.
I love how they're literally just laughing at the concept of Milo. Milo, you really are living in these people's heads rent-free. Oh wow, yes, that is so funny.
Let's do the first one. What I wear as a cartoon character. Fighting enemies.
Me.
Fighting enemies.
I'm sorry, but what is funny or cringy about this? Milo's literally just wearing a pair of dungarees. That's why I don't understand why they made this video. It makes them seem really awful. This is what annoys me. They're so irresponsible with their platform. They're so irresponsible with it. I am 18, you know? I'm barely an adult. And even I can see that this is damaging and wrong. Why would you want to spread such a negative message? And you can say it's haha, it's funny. I do stand-up comedy myself. I've never had to put anyone down to make the audience laugh, you know? If your comedy is entirely centred around shitting on other people, maybe you should rethink your comedy.
Oh, this is my first TikTok. Hashtag NB, hashtag trans. Very bold of you to keep the comments on.
Okay, so here, Calvin Garrett is admitting that he knows Milo receives a lot of harassment. Yet he still goes on to make this video in the full knowledge that Milo will receive more harassment after this video. Because, Calvin, that's what happens when you make a video on someone. Because your audience takes it upon themselves to then go after Milo. They've seen you do it, so why shouldn't they? You can say, oh no, don't harass Milo all you want. But that's going to do fuck all, innit? They know how much harassment Milo receives. They're fully aware of it. And yet they do it anyway. Above all else, it makes me sad. It makes me sad to know that people with such big platforms will do things this cruel. Let's continue.
I just remember when Milo said that they were asexual, but then they called like losing their virginity like a sexual awakening or like sexual.
Oh yeah.
Sexual debut. What
once you get the peen, you just get dignitized.
Okay, I just want to talk about this for a moment because to me it just shows a fundamental lack of understanding about sexuality. We all discover ourselves at different rates, you know? We don't just wake up and go, oh, cool, I'm bisexual, cool, now I know what I am. You know, we don't do that. It's a process of coming to terms with our emotions, our feelings, and just trying to understand ourselves. If Milo thought that they were asexual, and then they realised they weren't, so what?
I really try hard to not judge people
for their
I really try not to.
Oh yes, Blair, you clearly try so hard. It's not like your entire channel was built upon judging people or anything. Oh, no, no, no. You know, at this point, I don't know whether these people are just so unaware.
And I will say shout out to Milo in the sense
shout
that
out to Milo.
Shout out to Milo.
Yo, shout out to Milo. Yo, you've made a lot of people a lot of money on this website.
Saying shout out to Milo while making a video tearing them down, that's not a good thing, guys. That's not good. You're not shouting them out, you're bullying them. If I was to say, hey, shout out to Milo, well, I mean it, right? I'm not making a video mocking Milo. In fact, you could argue that in saying shout out to Milo, you're implicitly encouraging your audience to go and attack them.
I do respect anyone who receives like the amount of hate Milo has received over the years and like is still around because like you and I get hate and we're around.
Barely.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm barely around.
I mean, I'm dead inside, but I'm physically still here filming.
For God's sake, this just shows how unaware they are. The hate that Calvin Garrett and Blair White get is not even comparable to the amount of abuse that Milo Stewart got. Milo had the entire internet ripping into them. They still have people sending them shitty messages. They have people dislike bombing their videos. You don't have that, Calvin. And you don't have that, Blair. Let me ask you this. When was the last time your video got more hate comments than positive comments? You probably can't recall a time, can you? So don't you dare try and conflate the amount of abuse you get to the amount of abuse Milo gets, because it's not the same. And I think deep down you know it.
Types of NBs? What's an NB?
An NB is a non-binary. That's like short for non-binary.
How is that short? That's like
name bug.
Is that really a name of non-binary people?
Yeah, like they come up with weird names. Like it's like a meme for the non-binary people to like come up with names like.
That's the other thing is I feel like it's always a character. Like it's never really just people.
Okay, tell me why that is such facts.
The mask, it slipped a wee bit there, guys. Did you just say that non-binary identities are a character? It's nice to know how you really feel, Calvin. And people say that you're not MB-phobic.
Even like the TikTok video we did just now, it's always like dressing up or like being a character or like, why can't it just be real?
Is this dressing up to you? Am I dressed up? Guys, you heard it here first. I'm a character. This is a character. I'm not actually non-binary. This clothes here, it's fucking character. They're actually my pyjamas. They stink real bad because I haven't washed them in ages. Let's just say, I'm really glad you can't smell me through the screen.
Why can't it just be real?
Why can't you just be named like Ryan or like fucking like Bob?
I'm called Mo. Is that not up to your standard? Should I change my name? I could call myself Brian. Is that good enough for you? I don't know.
Don't understand that all this fucking shit is just like political, because it's like, she's, I mean,
they. Can you say they, Blair? Can you ever use they pronouns?
The thing about it is like
it's really hard when you look like a girl, no offense.
Oh, fuck.
Did they genuinely just leave in a moment where Blair White misgendered Milo? Oh boy, the lack of self-awareness is painful. Do you not realise how bad that makes you look? This just shows how flawed the philosophy of transmedicalism is. Milo has had top surgery, Milo has been on testosterone, and yet they're still not trans enough for Blair White and Calvin Garrett. It's mental. You have dysphoria, Calvin, and you know how shit that feels. So why would you say that about another trans person?
Look, yeet. A cake. I don't know, it's tacky.
It's tacky, but it is what it is.
How is that cake cringy though? It's obviously a meme. It's kind of funny. When I get top surgery, do you know what? I'm gonna make a cake and it's gonna be exactly like that, and it's gonna be a massive fuck you to everyone who shat on Milo for that cake. Because I think it's funny. It's a joke. And it doesn't harm anyone. That's a great thing. You can make jokes without being mean. Well, that's crazy. Side note, I just want to say, congratulations on your top surgery, Milo.
So that means that that means they got top surgery.
Oh. Wait,
Damn.
then
It's crazy to me that after seeing that Milo's got top surgery, instead of being like, oh wow, congratulations Milo, they're like mocking them? I don't understand. I think this is the biggest thing. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I can't watch anymore, I'm sorry, I just can't. I feel like we've been over the most important things anyway. So what is the takeaway from this video? I think the biggest one is, don't be a dickhead. That's the biggest takeaway. Don't be a dickhead. If you're insecure in yourself, don't take it out on others. I'm really fucking insecure in myself. I'm non-binary and I have a lot of dysphoria. I know that's not everyone's experience, but it is mine. So sometimes when I see other people who have a different experience to mine, I feel a little bit salty. I'm like, well, you've got it easier. Are you really non-binary? And then I remember. I stop and I think and I realise that these thoughts in my head, they're my problem. I'm the dickhead here. Not the other non-binary person who's just living their life. I can't help the thoughts in my head and I know that, so I just got to work through them. I know that I don't really think that, it's just my insecurities. Can we stop harassing people and bullying them for the way they present? It's so unnecessary and it's just cruel. Calvin, you took down the video and I applaud you for that. I do. I genuinely do. I think that is good. But come on, mate, taking the video down doesn't mean a lot, does it? And do you know what sucks, Calvin? I had so much hope. I had so much hope. After that live stream with Xander Hall and Riley, I was like, hell yeah. This opens up so many new possibilities and it could have such a positive impact, and then you go and do this. Why? Why would you do that? Like I said, I want to like you. But man, you're acting like every high school bully I've ever encountered. I had to move schools because I was bullied so much, because I was different. But yeah, I think that brings this video to a close. I guess the last few things I'll say is shout out to Milo. But like, genuinely, shout out to Milo. Calvin, Blair, I can't force you to do anything, but I'd highly suggest you look at your actions and you think, is this really the person that I want to be? Is this really what I want to be known for?
in this video, I want to react to some trans athletes, a trans powerlifter, and all of the bands and what my personal feelings on the bands are. So let's get started with Janae Marie Kroc. She's a trans powerlifter, and here is her story.
Everything she said about me is incorrect, and as a result, I'm experiencing a lot of hate.
Hello, hi, my name's Mo, and I thought today I would talk about Blair White because recently she has come out with a video that is just... it's bad. It's really bad, and I want to talk about it. Before I get into it though, I would just like to say thank you for all the support that I got on my video about Cave Town. At the time of recording, that has got, I think, over 150,000 views, which is mental to me. I can't really comprehend it, but I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the support, so thank you. But anyway, that is irrelevant. I just wanted to let you know that I see you and I do appreciate it. But anyway, what has Blair White done now? Blair White came out with a video on trans athletes, and in it she shared a bunch of really damaging misinformation about another trans woman called Janae Kroc. Now in this video, I'm not going to be going into the arguments on whether or not trans people should be allowed to compete, because that's not actually relevant to this conversation at all. So for those of you who are wondering, who is Janae? Janae is a bodybuilder and world champion powerlifter. She figured out her gender and she transitioned. She never competed in women's sport. She never did. She competed in men's sport when she identified as a man. Yet in that video, Blair states multiple times that Janae competed in the women's category, and that is just not true. And the thing is, this is a widely known fact. If you Google Janae Kroc, it's one of the first thing that comes up. There is no way that Blair White could have missed this. Or if she somehow did, then, oh my god, what little research does she do? There is no way in hell that Blair White could have missed this. I fully believe that she was being intentionally dishonest. If by some chance, it was an honest mistake, well, I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough either. Because if you've got an audience of, over 1 million subscribers, well, I'm sorry, you've got to do better research than that. It took me less than 10 seconds to figure that out. Blair, you're a grown woman. This is ridiculous. It's so irresponsible. I'm going to play you some clips from Blair's video to just show you what I mean.
The idea, the concept of Janae competing against biological women is ludicrous. It's almost intentionally ignorant, and anyone who thinks that that is some sort of level playing field is a liar. You're lying to her, you're lying to others, and you're lying to yourself, sweetie. The idea that Janae, who transitioned well into her adulthood and developed completely male, can now compete against women is bad. It's a bad idea. It's a failed idea.
But she never competed in women's sports. Never. That's incorrect.
And something we don't often see is that Janae actually went back post-transition and competed against men just because, I guess.
What she really did was transition and then go back to competing in the male category, and then went back to her transition. But she never competed in the women's category. Why are you lying? The only conclusion that I can draw is that Blair is intentionally lying because it fits her narrative. If you're gonna lie, at least try harder, you know what I mean? This is just like, she's put in no effort. You wanna know what she probably did? She probably just Googled transgender athlete and Janae just happened to be the first one that popped up, so she chose her. Because why the fuck else would Janae appear in this video where it has no relevance whatsoever? And the issue here is not just that Blair White is spreading misinformation, although that is a big issue on its own. The issue is also that Janae has experienced a load of hate for something that's not even true. After Blair White made that video, all her little minions ran over to Janae to go and shit on her. Can you imagine how awful that is? Being a transgender bodybuilder has got to be hard enough as it is without people spreading misinformation.
She's gone back and forth competing with men and women based on I don't know what. That's just a dick move. No pun intended.
No, Blair, you want to know what's a dick move? Lying to your audience, spreading a false narrative, and contributing to the unjust harassment of another person. That right there is a dick move. There are so many articles out there about Janae. There's even a fucking documentary. It is not difficult to do your research. If Blair had even, clicked on one of those sources, she would have realised that Janae never competed in the women's category. But she couldn't even be bothered to do that. And yet people hail Blair as some sort of truth teller, you know? Blair White is out here destroying the libs, showing what a true, rational trans person is. That's bullshit. At the time of recording, that video is still up, and I know that Blair White knows that she was wrong about Janae. Because Janae's fucking commented on that video, and Janae's comment is one of the top comments. Let me read it out to you. Blair, I really wish you had reached out to me before making a video, including me and spreading a bunch of misinformation. If you had done some research ahead of time, you would have known that all my records and championships were achieved in the men's division. I have never competed as a woman, and I've been vocal about the fact I have no intention to. I respect your right to have your own opinion on trans athletes or any other topic, but spreading misinformation only causes more problems. If you have any questions or would like to discuss this further, feel free to reach out. What a legend! If I had been in Janae's place, my response would not nearly have been as civil as that. It's really worrying to me that Blair just won't accept this criticism and won't take the video down. Has her audience coddled her so much that she can't accept when she is in the wrong? I don't know. You know, I think in this situation, there really are only two scenarios. A, Blair White intentionally misrepresented the situation to further her own narrative because she knows that her audience will not fact check her and she just wants to make money. Or B, she's stupid. I don't see any other way this video could have been made. But you know, I don't think that Blair White is stupid. I don't. But you know, that just makes it 10 times worse. Because it's better to be stupid but well-meaning than intelligent and a liar. Something that I'm really passionate about is responsible platforming. That's something that means a lot to me. Irresponsible platforming has the potential to do demonstrous harm on scales that we can't even comprehend. I'm from New Zealand, and a good, or rather horrible, example of this is the Christchurch shooter. He was radicalised online by figures, you know, not unlike Blair White. I'm not saying that, you know, Blair White is as bad as any of these other influencers, but he was radicalised online by these influencers. And then he went and shot up a mosque, killing lots of people. The Christchurch shooter lived in my hometown. My hometown was the original target, and I know people who lost family members in that shooting. It is horrific. It's one of the worst terrorist attacks in New Zealand history, and it occurred because of this misinformation being spread online. Now obviously this is a far more extreme situation than Blair White's, but I just kind of wanted to compare the two and show that, you know, if you have a large platform, that comes with a responsibility. You are responsible for shaping the views of your audience. I only have 6,000 subscribers, yet I've had people tell me that I have changed their mind. So if I can change people's minds at only 6k, what can Blair White do at over 1 million? But yeah, I think that brings me to the end of the video. It's a really awful situation, and I hope that Janae is doing okay. Janae, if you ever see this, just fucking respect. You handled this situation with so much dignity, and you were far more respectful than I think Blair White deserved. I hope that the harassment stops, and I hope that Blair White takes down that video and apologises, because that's what I think she should do. Do I think she actually will do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know with Blair White. But yeah, like I said at the start, this is not a conversation on trans athletes. That is a whole different field. This is a conversation on responsible platforming.